Sorry, Chris.
Hey, everybody.
Oops.
Oh,
Chris McDonough of the Interview Room and Cold Case Foundation, a homicide detective extraordinaire, as I like to call him, and somebody who is well versed in the missing. We're so happy to have you on. How are you, Chris? Good to see you.
great. Great to be seen, Josh. And
You're seeing.
I don't know what just happened, but that was pretty cool because I was looking at the chat and about ready to say hi to everybody. Hi, Lab Rats and Laura. How are you? See all of our friends. It's great to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Oh man, thank you for being here, and it's always a pleasure to have you on. And gosh, we've been doing these for quite a while now, and yes, we have, and I look forward to all of them. I know that today, in particular, is the 3-year anniversary of the Idaho killings, which it does sort of feel like yesterday, but it also feels like a long time ago too. And how far it's come, and now that the case is adjudicated, everybody can sort of, I know that you had the Consalves family on your show the other day, like a week or two ago. And if you haven't, make sure to get over there and check that out. And Chris has had a few different conversations with him. And but you know who my favorite guest of yours was, and I was actually listening to his testimony just the other night. Mark Tinsley.
Yeah, Mark's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I watched the other day, it came up where he was being cross-examined. I don't know if you've seen his cross-examination in the Alex Murdaugh trial, where the defense lawyers, I mean, he is probably one of the most brutal takedowns of a defense attorney I've ever seen in my life. Absolutely brilliant, genius, almost to the point of entertaining and then embarrassing for the defense. I just thought I think he's him and his wife both, and I believe they have a new podcast out as well.
Yes.
I don't have the name for it, but I see if I can find it. But make sure to sub up to them. They just seem like great people, and you just had them on a few weeks ago. I noticed as well.
Yeah, Stephanie and Mark are amazing people, and I think her podcast is what they missed.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's doing really, really well.
I would imagine. I mean, they're both really sharp people, and very grounded. And like I said, when I watched it the other day, and it's like he goes on with the guy for about 30 minutes or so, and it's like chess and checkers with him. I mean, he's slick, he's smart. And you could tell he's smart, but he's also he's very measured, humble, doesn't get upset, about things. And so anyway, check out the Interview Room. Great content over there. But you look great, Chris. How are you? I mean, you look healthy.
Well, artificial intelligence just does wonders for a lot of people. I do. I feel great. Karen and I are doing well. We had a little scare with Buddy the other night, though. He must have eaten something because he was lethargic all night, and I thought for sure, oh my gosh, he's having some heart issue or something was going to happen. And I just prayed, and I laid down next to him. You ever done that with your dog when they're sick? And he put his little nose up against mine, and I was just talking to him, and I thought, okay, if he makes it through tonight, we're good to go. And he did, thank goodness. We woke up the next day, and he was lethargic all day though. And I thought, oh man, there's something going on. Do I rush him? Do I take him in, or did he eat something? And I thought, you know what? I think he ate something. So took him on a walk, massive blowout, 3-alarm fire, 911. What's your emergency? I got a Jack Russell who just started a fire from his rear, and it said we're en route. And once that happened, it was like, holy crap, not literally, but I took him home, and he's been fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
That honestly, from you've had dogs your whole life. I've had dogs my whole life. Those things happen, but I tell you, what's that?
I love the chat. Like, oh my Zoe, that's hysterical.
It certainly makes you sick to see. It's so difficult to watch your dog not feel good and go through something. And so I know the feeling, but yeah, sometimes for some reason they're just either they get sick like we do.
Yeah,
dogs get sick, and was he eating and drinking?
Yes, well, no, for 24 hours, and that's why I thought, oh wow,
If it goes on any longer, I guess.
yeah, But, yeah. Now he's like, just hammering it.
Yeah, dude, you got the poison out.
Yeah, I think so. I think he ate something, and we didn't see what he did. So
yeah, Otis likes to eat my AirPods sometimes. Like, I'm not even kidding. I walked out back one time and he was just out there, in his hunched position. And I watched him shoot one of them out of his butt.
Oh, that'll work. And well, just wait till he eats the translators and starts speaking Spanish.
I know. He come up to me and I threw it. I could hear "Cómo estás?"
Oh, yeah. ¿Cómo está, amigo? Yeah. Lave sus manos.
Comprende. Just see him. He starts speaking German.
¿Quiénes somos macho? Sí. And then if he eats the Japanese wannabe, Nihongo Shalados Kochidas and so that's ga.
Is that which way to the pharmacy?
No, I speak a little Japanese.
I wasn't even close.
So that's ga.
I wasn't even close. Which way to the pharmacy?
Which way to the pharmacy? Exactly. Oh man.
Yeah. So
yep. If he eats a translator, he'll be the first dog on the planet, speaking French, He's gonna
need to go work for the post office or something.
He's a Frenchie. He'll be pumping it out, bro.
French, but he snorts.
Parlez-vous français?
Parlez-vous français?
Like, wow, where'd you learn that?
I know. The other day I was watching. He was watching all along the Western Front. He was rooting for the French.
Exactly.
I didn't know. He was like, right where the Treaty of Versailles was coming in. He got really excited about it and was like, "This is the best part of the movie." Oui.
Yeah, Macho Libre.
Sometimes that's what I call Macho. I call him Mucho because he's so fat. He's like a little piglet. But anyway, so yeah. Anyway, I have some interesting audio that was released just the other day, and some people have talked about it, and I've listened to it, and I played it on my After Dark a little bit, and this is about the Sebastian Rogers case, and this sort of kind of gives you an insight into what was going on within like sort of the first 50 days, how of this investigation. And I was just curious to get maybe your reaction to it, and we can listen to it, and then when you want to react to it, you just obviously hey, stop, or whatever you want to do. But so we can do that if you're up for it.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Hey, digging the hat too, bro.
Thank you.
The bear.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I got it. My sister got it for me for my birthday.
You have a birthday coming up, right?
Yes, Saturday. So what's today? Thursday. So day and a half. Nice. Yeah,
we get the younger you tonight.
Yeah,
and then Sunday we'll get the older you.
Yeah,
the older version.
Tonight it'll be like, hey, everybody, how's it going? And then Sunday it'll be buddy. How are you? Good
Now,
to
how old are you in dog years?
be. Like, I don't know, 525.
Nice. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, 40 years old. I'll be 40.
Wow.
I know.
Very nice.
It's kind of it's sort of a it's quite a milestone birthday. I think about that sometimes. I don't know why, but I don't know. It's just like those, 20, 30, 40. And let me see here. I remember. I do. I want to change my birthday because Don Wells is tomorrow.
Don
So
Wells.
yeah, we share like a birthday week. Like, if we this is such crap. If we were staying at a hotel, it would be our birthdays would be like conjoined rooms.
Sellies.
Yeah, we would be in the same cell block.
Sellies.
And I just don't want that. But so somebody said that their birthday's on Saturday too, and that they'll be 60. And then Samantha, you and my son share the same B-day.
Awesome. Well, happy
Wow.
birthday to him too, Samantha.
Yeah, happy birthday. I'm still young enough, huh?
To
But
think you share a birthday week with Donnie.
not even a birthday week, like a birthday 26 hours. It's like, I know it sucks.
Here's to corn dogs. Here.
If I could, honestly, I would probably, I would move his birthday to probably like, I don't know, January 29th or something. It just far away from me.
You still have that soundbite?
Which one?
With Donnie, his voice.
Where he said he's sitting down to pee.
Anyone, they're all hysterical.
Let's see, I don't know. Let me check.
Do you have it loaded on your board?
I have. Yeah, I think so. Hold on.
Do you still use that board?
I do.
Awesome.
Do you use yours?
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm bringing it up here for a happy birthday.
I can't believe I just learned this information. You held this back from me.
I've tried to quell it for some time, but it's like, it's almost pointless. Here we go. I have like, hold on. You're going to love this, Chris.
Share it with Grandis too?
What's that?
With Grandis.
Listen to that. Really?
Yeah.
I was actually just sitting down to pee, but whatever,
Oh, you can't make this up. Oh my goodness. Oh. And the Russian judge says 10. Oh, do it again. Do
I was
it again.
actually just sitting down to pee, but whatever,
Happy birthday, Don. Oh man. Just to here, make sure
I was actually just sitting down to pee, but whatever,
You had another one too. That was the one I tried really hard or something.
Oh yeah, that's on my old board, but that was when he would go, I tried, it's really tough, I got to put that one back on too. That was,
oh my gosh, that was funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny right there. That is funny.
I love how he like kind of, if you hear him kind of chuckle at the end, because there was a time where he was on a live stream and he was sitting on the toilet. And for some reason his phone was like down on the ground, but it was like facing him, so you could see that he was on the toilet. So then
Awesome.
everybody assumed that he was going to the bathroom. He was like, well, I was just going pee. And this was his response to that.
I was actually just sitting down to pee, but whatever,
But whatever, though. That's too much time in prison, Chris.
That's a sick puppy.
Yeah,
That's nasty. You can't make that stuff up.
Happy birthday. But anyway, that was
well, I needed that, so I appreciate that.
Did that bring you some
Gave me a warm.
Okay, so this and just tell me when you want me to stop and we can.
So what? Okay, give me the context of this, because
this is a hired PI by the Rogers family. 50 something days in to the investigation. She's trying to get a hold of them to talk to them, and they are upset that she came onto their property. Which, by the way, and I know that people will like say, look, I don't know what they went through the first few weeks. I know that there were people everywhere. I probably wouldn't want people on my property either. I would probably go about it a little differently, but Heather was the lady's name. And so I just like,
right, she's an attorney, or what is she?
She's a private investor, like a licensed private eye that was hired by the Rogers family. And she was getting in contact with them. So maybe they could work together, and now I want to preface this by saying that there is some foul language, mostly by Chris Proudfoot. Shocker there. But yes, there's some of that. And let me see. And Deanna, thank you for becoming a member. And Sharon says, thank you, Josh and Chris, for covering this. God bless you both. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sharon, Sirius Black as well. All right, let's say we just dig in and listen.
Can I tell her who's
yeah, my name's
Can I tell her who's
yeah, my name's Heather. I came by yesterday.
Heather.
Hi Katie.
What can I do for you? Are you the woman that trespassed my property yesterday?
I actually didn't. I walked down your neighbor's property and then down the easement and then up the
That's
other
not
side.
an easement. I own that. That's my property.
Well, the fence says no trespassing. I didn't come on the property.
That is my property.
The easement, that's a public easement.
I own it. It's mine. I own it.
I am here to try to clear you.
I don't
So
need you to clear me.
I don't know why you're being defensive with me.
Okay, so can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
First, can you identify yourself?
I did already. My name's Heather, private investigator.
Well, you're coming to my house. And you're
I am. I'm investigating the disappearance of your stepson. So do you want him found or no? Because if you do, then why would you have a problem with me coming to talk to you guys?
Well,
Real simple, because we're asking you questions and you're telling us that you can't answer those questions. So why should we answer any?
I absolutely did not trespass.
there's no such thing.
There's
as a public
nothing,
easement.
there is a such thing as a public easement. It's not posted.
I own it. I have signs on all
Okay,
the
your fence has a sign. I didn't
just
talk
3
about.
foot inside of my
Okay,
property.
take it up with, if you want to report it to law enforcement, do it. Take it up with them. I am trying to help. Okay, so if you want somebody to help you, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, well,
So calm down, talk to me like civil human beings. I'm trying to help find him. I've been talking to sex offenders in the area.
Law enforcement has done that.
Okay, and I'm going to do it too because I'm working it too. And I have that right, and the person that hired me has that right. Anybody has that right.
He's also blatantly accusing me of murder when I didn't.
I haven't accused you of
I didn't
shit.
say you did. I said he did.
Okay, well, I'm trying to decide who is on my radar and who is not. I've talked to sex offenders. That is my focus.
Go ahead.
So how does this get to be a three-way call? Do we know?
I think Heather called Katie.
Yeah.
And that Chris was in the background. Like he's not actually, I think he's there with her. And so he kind of is hovering over the call. And you'll hear later on in the call that he makes it very clear that nobody's to talk to his wife without him being there.
Oh, okay.
Right now, in my mind, you're not a person of interest, but I'm coming here trying to talk to you.
It's not a good look to trespass either. Like,
I
that's
don't
my
know what it
point.
looks like, ma'am.
It's
No.
posted
So, let me
all
tell you
4
something.
ways.
I just came from the TBI headquarters in Jackson, Miss.
Honey, I'm going to tell you, as a PI, I have a lot more leeway with things I can do and people I can talk to. And this isn't my first rodeo. I've worked cases like this before. I have got
Okay. So Seth says it's not a call, that this is in person.
information that TBI or law enforcement's not able to get, and I have passed it along, and it has helped the case. I mean, that's all I can tell you.
What have you passed along that's helped this case?
I just started working this case. I haven't even.
Okay, so Heather, so she was there, I think, and Katie called him. Is that what happened? Okay, so that's what they're saying. So she shows up at the house, then Katie calls him, and that's how.
Got a chance to talk to you or Katie yet?
Well, here's the thing. You're not talking to her by herself. Period.
Okay.
You're not going to talk to my
Okay,
wife.
fine. Set up.
What do you think of that, Chris? What do you think? She's a private investigator. She has no, jurisdiction to, arrest or charge or anything like that. She's just that she's hired to help. And Chris saying, 50 days in, you're not going to talk to my wife by herself. Is that, what's that?
Period.
It's not happening. Nobody's talking to her by herself. I mean, is that just being a protective husband, or do you think that's like a let me spearhead this situation? Because this was sort of what happened with Dawn as well, where he became the spokesperson for the family, and that he feared Candace talking without he feared Candace talking to anybody without him directing the narrative.
Well, let's just back up just for a second, okay? Have I left the house?
No.
Okay. And then when you hear stuff like this, you go, okay, well, let's apply common sense here. And that common sense is pretty clear that it's control, dominance, and power. And he is displaying that. If there's nothing going on anywhere, anyhow, no cats, no, coming out of the hat, no rabbits, no nothing, then you cooperate with the authorities. It's that simple. Or you at least have a sense of decency because your child is missing, to say to somebody, anybody, and yeah, granted, people respond, differently, emotionally, etc., but they don't respond with anger. Anger is a defense mechanism. Okay. And it's a loss of control. And so you hear it right off of the bat. I'm assuming he's not there I
think he's out of town, possibly working, and that she's by herself, wherever she is. But when the private investigator shows up, she calls Chris, because I think that's what sounds like that's what she's been directed to do.
Okay, well, in law enforcement, that would be a sign of deception, because for a couple of reasons. Let's say you pick up the phone and you say, "Hey, Mr. So-and-so, such and such, how about coming down the station? Let's talk for a moment. I got a couple of questions." And they come down the station and there's somebody with them. Okay. And you go back and you're in an interview with this individual, and you say, "Hey, blah, blah, blah." And they tell you a whole story. And at the end of the story, they say, "Well, if you don't believe me, go ask Frank, who's in the waiting room." Okay. Well, why do we need Frank to reaffirm a story that you are projecting as truthful? And it's the same principle. Why does she need him to talk to woman, another woman who's standing there at the house, who's volunteering or has been hired by somebody or something, even if it was the cops, if she was hired by anybody? Okay. And by the way, I think I heard in there, he said, "I was just at TBI in Jackson," or something to that effect.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's, the west side of Tennessee. So and Memphis is south of that. So do you hear where I'm going here with that piece of the puzzle?
Yeah, I do. And that's why I didn't quite understand, why Chris, I guess why Chris is involved in this particular conversation. I think that this is a conversation that could probably be handled between the two of them, but
they're quite capable of, handling it themselves. What do they need him in the middle for?
Yeah, and I thought that it was, but like I said, I can understand not wanting people to come onto your property, I'm not saying that that's what she was doing or peering through windows or anything like that, but it would be a lot for people to just be knocking on your door and things like that. But this is a private investigator that's hired by the family of Sebastian, the other side of the family who's there to help to get answers. Whether you think that she should be involved or shouldn't be involved. I mean, I personally would be taking any sort of help with no answers that I could get. I remember, and I'm not suggesting that this is, I'm not suggesting that this situation is similar, but when I couldn't find Otis and Macho, I was like begging people to help me come look, and people did. There were people out on the street, and I said, "Hey, I need your help," because you just feel desperate. And I think what I don't hear is the desperateness or the, this is like, well, first of all, you're on my property. You're not supposed to be on my property. This is my property. Okay. That's been established. And then moving on from there, getting Chris on the phone. So if you want me to play a little bit more.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
All right, set up an appointment with me. Do you want to do that? I can come back. I mean, I can respect your time. I'm not trying to be this. Whatever. I mean, I really think everybody just needs to calm down. Emotions are high. People are flinging mud, and it's just getting drama and stupid. And that is a terrible disadvantage to Sebastian.
Right, but let me inform you on something. You're not the one being threatened here.
I think everybody's being threatened. Did you know there was a drive-by shooting last?
People being threatened. Bullshit.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't understand why you guys are coming at me. I didn't do anything to you.
Okay, well, first off, you came to my house the other day.
Yes. Yesterday.
You walked around my fucking property with a you videotape and put pictures.
Privately owned property back
It
there.
is fucking posted all sides of that property.
I mean, the easement between houses is not usually.
I own it.
In that fucking subdivision.
I own half, my neighbors own half, period. That's not public. There are no...
I mean, there's no property lines. There's no way to tell what is.
At this point, Chris, I mean, the whole property line, it doesn't really seem, if they wanted to shut down the conversation, they could say, hey, look, we're just not going to talk to you. We don't want to talk to you. You came onto our property, without our permission. But this whole, we're having this distraction of property lines, there is, for some reason, there just does not seem to be any urgency about Sebastian. And this is early on in the investigation. I mean, 50 days in, we'll be 2 years here shortly.
Smart. I have stakes.
By the way, the other side of this coin is this is what his ex-wives have experienced.
Well, there's another thing. I mean, this is an explosive temper. That's what it is.
Yeah, and she should have let him run.
Yes.
I think what you do is you poke him, okay, and say, go. And he'll blow, like he's headed to Mars with Elon Musk.
Can you show me? Because I
I can
didn't.
show you all 4 no trespassing signs.
They're on
And
the
if you want,
fence.
you can go on the city and you can look at the property line and you can.
I mean, they're on the fence. I wouldn't jump your fence.
I own it. Half of that is mine, half of that is theirs. That's why they turned it in and they turned it into the police.
I'm sorry, what? I think that when there's a no trespassing sign on the fence, that means you don't go into the fence. I'm not going to go into the fence.
Negative. Actually, that's wrong.
Okay, well, I'm not sure how I would know that. All right, well, I'm not really. Yeah, I'm just not really sure how anybody would know that easement is yours.
Step out of your car.
Chris Kiki, 2025 True Crime says, with them being at TBI in Jackson, Mississippi, would that indicate that the investigation is over state lines jurisdiction? I don't think so, but this is up. I think they'll meet with anybody anywhere if that's where they are. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, if he's down in Memphis or where, maybe that's the closest TBI office. It's a field office, but they would have one in Memphis too.
He just must not be there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hold on 1 second.
The other day, and you walked onto the property. When Mike, my neighbor, saw you,
I
and Mike
walked right
across
past your
the
neighbor.
street saw you, turn around. Where they saw you. Now got you on camera, walking your ass through my property, right next to my fucking driveway. You walked past 3 fucking signs, woman. 3. Don't tell me you didn't see them. They're on the fucking fence. You just said it on this camera, and I got news for you. Because you've done that, you have violated trespassing.
I was actually trying to stay on the outside of your property. Okay, well, I don't know how I would know that that's not.
Add the detectives into this so that they can see her and find out what she's
I just left the sheriff's department. I've
Well,
talked to
just-
Tim Bailey. I've talked to Sheriff Weatherford. I've been talking to all of them. So anyway,
Okay, well, first off,
but why is this the
I mean, is the reaction? Does the reaction fit the offense?
It's beautiful.
I mean, what does this not? I mean, to me, this just shows like what an explosive temper that he has. I'm not accusing him of anything except being volatile at this point, and that's what this is. He's being volatile towards somebody that he's never met, that he feels has wronged him by walking on his property. But she's there to make peace and say, "Hey, look, that's not what I was meaning to do."
focus instead of finding Sebastian? It's a waste of time right now. We're arguing over a property line, like when there is a missing child.
we're arguing over a fucking safe.
I'm not showing up here to do anything to
this
you.
is cold.
We're arguing over a fucking safe.
I'm not showing up here to do anything to you except for find your son.
Stop. Heather, next time, don't argue with him. Just
Let him go.
roll with it. Yeah. Poke him and roll with it.
The thing is, I don't even think she really I don't even think she poked him. I think he poked himself.
Of course. Well, that's natural, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
I think.
sexy. You know what we should do, Josh?
What's that?
Let's get one of his ex-wives on your show, and I'll come on.
Okay.
And we're gonna we'll poke the bear, and I'm sure I'm sure he'll go 0 to 60, 900, maybe 1,000. I'm not sure. I'll put a space helmet on, but I'd like to see him, respond a little bit more. Do you think maybe one of the audience members, if you know one of the gals, bring him up at some point? I know his last ex-wife with his daughter, where she was making allegations against him. I'd like to talk to her, see if she would talk out loud here.
Sure. Absolutely.
Because if he's this volatile over trespassing signs, let's prime the pump, man.
Not a threat to you.
Fucking son. All you had to do was pick up the fucking phone and call us.
That's not how I operate. I talk to people in person. That's what I do.
You're shit at your job.
No, that's not shit at your job. PIs don't call people. They show up at their houses.
Well, I got news for you.
Okay.
Welcome to Tennessee.
Are you going to set up an appointment with me, or do you just want to keep yelling at me? This is really ridiculous. This is the drama that's a disadvantage to Sebastian. He's not going to be found this way.
Answer my question. What the hell are you going to do to help find our son?
I am knocking on doors, talking to sex offenders.
FBI, Secret Service, TBI.
I am communicating with the I just talked to Tim Bailey, asked him if they talked to the sex offender. They have not talked to the sex offender. He said, I'm free to go do so, which is what I'm doing. Okay.
Okay, well, first off, when you come on somebody's property, you're supposed to announce yourself, because we haven't posted no trespass. It doesn't matter what your fucking job title is. Well, once it's I try to explain to you. There's no property lines in that entire subdivision.
No.
There's no community spaces. No, nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
So where you were walking as
Avon, where Amway, full of brush, man. Here,
And we're still going on about the property line.
I mean, Jehovah's Witness.
I'm selling steaks out of the back of my truck.
today on camera.
It's great. That
Can
is
you imagine that at the front door? Holy cow, this would be great. Good stuff. But go ahead. Pizza.
When I was a kid,
Domino's.
my grandparents, we would go hand out tracts on Saturday morning. Like we go door to door. It's the worst experience of my life. Like we went up to this guy's house. It had to be. It's like a Saturday, like at 9 o'clock, right? This guy opens the door. He's in his robe, looks like Tony Soprano with his hair all like messy. And we're like, "Hey, have you heard the good news?" We have a tract. He slams the door so hard that the glass in his like round window break. And I was like, we should break it out of here.
Oh yeah, this guy. That's interesting.
I can see that happening here.
You're on my property.
But I really wish that you would lighten up a little bit because we are focusing on the wrong thing when we should be focusing on finding Sebastian.
If you want me to lighten up,
I do.
You want me to lighten up?
Yes, sir.
It's real simple.
I will not walk on your property again. I apologize for walking down the easement, what looked like an easement.
You told my neighbor you were hired by the family, and I am the family. So
Exactly.
if I didn't
So
hire
that
you,
tells me right there that you're hired by the Rogers family.
But I am not hired to implicate or accuse you, and
I'm not asking
Okay,
you to implicate.
I am trying to find him, so I want to talk to you too.
You'll come find me.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm here trying to find you.
I'm not hard to find.
Okay, when do you want it? Let's set this up. When do you want to meet?
Work.
Whenever. We're at Memphis. I'll be in Jackson tomorrow, so I can meet you. I can come all the way to Memphis if that's what you require, or you can meet me somewhere in between.
Well, I would prefer you come see me because I work nights. So 9 to 1 when you guys are up, I'm actually sleeping.
But my problem with the PI going to see him was he wasn't there, allegedly, supposedly. He wasn't there.
No, but he's projecting that he's there now.
He's there. He's there now, but what good is he going to do meeting with her? Katie was the one that was in custody of Sebastian. So I don't understand why she needs to see him other than him just controlling the situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, right? Heather would be able to answer that. But here's the situation with him. And maybe she's going to do it. But in a situation like that, you say, no problem. What's a good day that works for you? And then, lock that in. And then you turn to Katie and say, well, I'm here now. How about you and I sit down? And then watch for or listen for his reaction. Because he said a little bit ago, there's no way you're going to talk to her without me going through me, something to that effect, right?
Yes,
So
and I think he
ahead.
expanded on that too.
No, you want to pull that control mechanism even further out of him. Okay, you want to see that behavior, see how long it takes for that behavior to manifest itself.
If you got a hold of this audio, obviously none of this is implicating them in the crime. There's no proof of anything. But I mean, look, you look at behaviors, you look at patterns, you look at, as an investigator. I mean, sometimes even if you can't prove something, do you ever look at a partner that's investigating with you and you just go, it just doesn't feel right. I mean, I don't have what I need, but this is odd behavior.
Well, I mean, anybody can listen to this and go, well, that's weird.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, but
Go ahead.
If he's like this with Sebastian missing, Can you imagine how he is with Sebastian there?
No, I mean, like I said, I've never been this mad at anybody in my life. And I've been like wronged personally by people that I love. And I've never gotten to that stage ever. I guess maybe it's just not in me. And I know some people do have bigger tempers than others, but I've never gotten this mad at anybody before.
Yeah, this isn't temper. This is lost emotional rage. He has no impulse control. And so
It's not going to be
you want to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
you and Katie. It's just going to be
He'll
you.
watch
It would be just
this
me, but-
tonight at some point and go nuts. He'll be
Because-
sitting at home yelling at us, at the screen, YouTube, whatever.
Yeah.
Unless Katie's coming down to see me when she can, we have other things that have to happen at the house. It wouldn't be together. The only time we're going to be together might be Sunday, Monday. That's when we might actually be back together again.
Okay, well,
I'm working.
I mean, I'd rather do it both at the same time. You already said you don't want me talking to your wife without you present. So
Right.
that would
That's-
mean,
and you can ask the cops that. They don't show up and talk to her without somebody telling us both. That's
Okay.
just the way this works. That's safety in numbers. I don't trust. Don't take it the wrong way. I don't know.
well,
I
and
don't.
I mean, we wouldn't know each other. I mean, we have no reason to know each other prior to this. But
But it's not hard to make a phone call and talk to somebody first. Blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
That's fine.
However, my history with cases like this is that, especially with you guys are already defensive.
Right, I understand that. Not everybody in this world is like that. Not everybody is like that. I'm not. I'll be honest, I'm level-headed, I'm very brash, I'm blunt to the point. Well, I've already told the cops this. I don't give a flying fuck what happens to him or what happens to that fucking family.
Yeah.
They did what they did.
Yeah. I would like, what would be really great in a perfect world would be if I could calm that down a little bit, because right now, but it's not this isn't helping Sebastian.
So this is sort of the cooling off, now that he feels like he has wrangled this situation, he's got an apology from her, and now he's like, look, you can meet with me. Will Katie be there? Well, she might be, but there's other stuff that has to happen. Like he's trying to dominate everything that's going on here, in a situation that he wasn't even involved in, allegedly.
And that's why I want to hear from his wives.
It didn't help Sebastian when he aired his trauma. It didn't help Sebastian when he accused his mother of murder. It didn't help Sebastian when he made almost $50,000 on my son going missing.
Who did?
Seth.
Yeah.
So
Don't know. I didn't know about that.
So she's obviously got money on her mind. She's obviously got, this idea that his mother was accused of murder. Well, how would Sebastian know all this? How would Sebastian know? I mean, she's using Sebastian as a pawn in the conversation, where in reality, what she's really saying is, I hate him because he's made money and he's accused me of hurting my son. That's what she should be saying. But what she did, though, is she inserted Sebastian in that role of how is he helping Sebastian by accusing and then making money and just going down a list.
Yeah.
Okay, what does that have to do with Sebastian?
Well, nothing. I mean, it seems like they're airing grievances is what they're doing instead of.
Her attention is focused on Seth because the PI that he's allegedly hired is at her door. And so Heather's taken it for the team. But again, what does that have to do with how is that hurting Sebastian?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's listen to that part
I'm
again.
going missing. It didn't help Sebastian.
Yeah. I would like, what would be really great in a perfect world would be if I could calm that down a little bit, because right now, but it's not this isn't helping Sebastian. You know, that
She's right. So whatever they're doing right now, right at this very moment, this discussion that they're having about property lines and stuff, it's not helping Sebastian. Okay. So we've got that out of the way. They didn't want her walking on the easement, and that it was their property line, blah, blah, blah. Fine. I mean, okay, they have every right to do that. And personally, you know, I mean, I'm sure it could have been handled with the, hey, can you please stay off our property like that unless we're home and you're an invited guest or whatever, you know, not.
Or here's one. You're here to help find Sebastian? Yes. Okay. Come on in.
Right. Of course.
Can we, let talk? Hey, Chris, do you have some time that we can talk? Oh, absolutely. Okay. You see the difference? I mean, that's not even irrational. This is irrational, it sounds like. I mean, there's a fight over, trespassing signs. There's a fight over, I'm not there, my wife is, and you're not talking to her until I am there. There's a fight over, well, I work, 9 to 1. That's there's a fight over the scheduling. There's a fight over everything here. It's a big fight.
Big fight.
So how do you solve the problem and find Sebastian?
Helped Sebastian when he aired his trauma. It didn't help Sebastian when he accused his mother of murder. It didn't help Sebastian when he made almost 50.
By the way, and I'm not accusing Katie of murder or anything like that, because I have no evidence of anything like that. But like, mothers have murdered their children before. I mean, it's not like it's some asinine, thing that people do. I mean, people hurt their children. I mean, you're not above reproach just because you think you are. And they always, I mean, if you don't think that isn't something that has been tossed around between investigators, I mean, you'd be crazy, because they would have to bring up these scenarios.
$1,000 on my son going missing.
who did?
Seth.
Yeah.
Don't know. I didn't know about that. I don't know anything about that.
Every single day he goes on. Internet
Let me
sleuth.
lay this out for you, okay? They could invest.
Him. I tried to work with him.
We were all in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Katie, Seth, and 2 other witnesses in law enforcement. We're in the house.
Yeah.
I brought up, what else can we do to help with this situation?
Right. Okay.
And when I said, hey, do we need to raise money? Do we need to get some investigators? What do we need? Horses, whatever. We'll do whatever.
Yeah.
They said, don't do anything with money, because it makes the family look bad, and it could turn ugly. Okay, cool. All of us standing in that living room in my house made an agreement that said we were not going to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, so
I said, hold on. Before we go deep, turn your phone around. Not you, hers. I want to see the face of her phone.
Oh, that she's
you want to see the face of my phone?
Yes.
Let me unlock it.
This conversation.
Stop. Look how he just talked to his wife. He said, turn your phone around. And she did. He goes, not you, hers. Now think about that. Okay. I mean, let's process the meat grinder here, because I'm going to start calling him the meat grinder, because that's what he is. He's a meat grinder. Okay. Who, by the way, deep down inside is extremely insecure. Okay. He really is. I mean, this is a very clear indication of a problem here. There's only 2 possibilities with this child. For the first one is foul play. And the second one is, if he did walk out of the house, the biggest indicator that autism that he has could have been in play here was the fact that he walked out of the house with no shoes on. There have been many cases where autistic children have walked out of the house without their shoes, and they've walked for miles and miles and miles and miles. Okay. However, okay, the other side of it is he is not doing himself any favor with the authorities if he thinks he's got them snowballed. There is not a chance on this earth that the authorities are sitting back and going, you know, I don't see anything wrong with that guy, with the meat grinder. Okay. I'm listening to this call for the very first time within 50 days of this child disappearing. And all they want to do is fight about the ex-husband. Okay. And it just doesn't make it again, it goes to show you there is no impulse control here. So what the authorities should be doing is, rather than playing nice with him, you know, worried that he's going to lawyer up, because I'm sure he's already lawyered up. Okay.
Yes, they have. They have. I don't know at this point in time, but they're lawyered up now. And it's also, it was reported by somebody, I believe his name, Nerdy Addict, who was talking to Chris Proudfoot, that Katie was pulled in for an interview some time ago alone. And she didn't like the way that the questioning was going. So she called Chris, and Chris shut it down. That's the same exact information that I got from a different source, the exact same information that was the last time that they spoke to law enforcement.
Okay. So the way that can be fixed is you just keep poking the bear. Don't play nice. If this was my case, I would call him up and say, you know, you're doing pretty good. What do you mean by that? And let him go 0 to 60. And then you follow it up with, but I'm coming. Click. And then you just watch the helium rise to the sky. And you jump on the comet as it's going by. You use his anger against him, and you embrace it as an investigator. Embrace it. And then keep pushing him a little more. Keep pushing. You know, we're 2 years into this, and what's he doing? Nothing. Well, so let's interview his ex-wives, Josh, you and I, on this channel.
Yeah, let's do it.
$90 or $100 says he jumps into the chat.
Yeah, he probably would. He does that quite often.
Great. Awesome. Jump in. And then, of course, you always hear, oh, you know, I'm going to sue you and all this other crap. Okay, fine. Remember I told you years ago during the OJ case, one of our guys in our squad went out and he got all these Johnny Cochran cards, these business cards with Johnny Cochran's phone number, his law offices on it. And you'd be out there, you know, and everybody was like, I'm suing you. I'm calling Johnny Cochran. Literally, you reach in your pocket and you go, here's his card. And we had like 100 Johnny Cochran cards on the streets. Okay. Can you imagine how many phone calls that guy got?
Yeah, he was pretty talented, wasn't he?
He got hundreds of phone calls. I'm sure of it. Okay. But the point being, okay, that it's like, okay, so you have a couple of friends who can, you know, put injunctions and on, you know, other people. But at the same time, we're talking about a 15-year-old boy that's disappeared 2 years ago. And I think we should just, if you can line it up, let's have, you know, ex-wives conversations because they are gold. Ex-wives know more about their ex-husbands than anybody, and it's golden. Some of the information.
And I mean, honestly, I hate to say this, but five wives by the time you're 40 years old is.
Did he have 5 wives? I forgot.
I think Katie's his 5th wife.
Okay. Well, the other 4 got great stories.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how does that look? Unless you're King Solomon, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to be married that many times. Imagine.
I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, I mean, it's very telling.
And here's the sad part with Katie. She's next.
Sure. I mean, look, the chances that they stay married with his track record is almost slim to none. However, my biggest problem with all of these people that weren't there when somebody went missing, when the child goes missing, we hear this a lot, is the need to just dominate the situation. Because first of all, is there a scenario where Candace could have done something with Summer without Dawn knowing? Yes, that could be possible.
Sure.
Do you think that he wouldn't know about it now? Probably not. Okay. But is there a scenario that something happened in that house that Chris had no idea about? Of course, if he was not there. Absolutely. So why are they so adamant about being the ones that are spoken to? I wouldn't care if he really wasn't there, and I have no reason to believe him or not to believe him. I'm ambivalent about it. Until there's proof one way or the other, I don't really know, and nobody else does. Only Chris and maybe law enforcement.
What has law enforcement come out and say he was not home?
No, not that I know of.
No, they're not going to come out and say that because they're not going to tip their hat to him that they know exactly where he's at or exactly what he did, i.e., did he turn his phone on? Was it off? And if so, they're going to hold that as a card close to the chest.
Mm-hmm.
And the more he spouts off, if it's not true, that's gold. I mean, that's just beautiful.
Right.
Keep going.
Right.
Don't take it the wrong way, but I told you I don't trust people right now. And people are trying to use shit in however they can. But that conversation in that living room was an agreed upon deal not to do anything with a GoFundMe page and collect money and benefit off of this.
Mm-hmm.
And
Stop. Okay. Look how he prefaced the whole conversation. Okay. Well, how did he start it with? Don't take this the wrong way. Why do you give a warning that there's a flood coming?
Because he's going to unload. He's going to say all kinds of stuff.
Right. And
don't take it the wrong way, but your client is a blah, blah, or whatever. It almost what I'm hearing here is like, I don't know why you're working for the family. Look at everything they've done that, but listen a little more here.
Sure as shit, what happened? The very next fucking day, there's a GoFundMe fucking page that's posted. So, I'm sorry.
So I didn't understand how he knew that Sebastian wouldn't be found and would need money when my son hadn't been missing 72 hours, and yet he knew he was going to need money to pay his bills that far in advance.
Which is what she just said there is an implication that Seth knew that Sebastian was going to be missing and that he was going to need money for it because he knew that he wasn't going to be found, which is an implication of basically her in a way accusing Seth of being responsible for the disappearance of Sebastian to his PI. Listen to this one more time.
Um,
So I didn't understand how he knew that.
GoFundMe page and collect money and benefit off of this.
mhm.
And sure as shit, what happened? The very next fucking day, there's a GoFundMe fucking page that's posted. So I'm sorry.
So I didn't understand how he knew that Sebastian wouldn't be found and would need money when my son hadn't been missing 72 hours, and yet he knew he was going to need money to pay his bills that far in advance. That speaks volumes to me. The fact that he can't be bothered to help look for his son in the beginning. The fact that he literally released my son's sensitive trauma issues and blatantly lied about all of the details surrounding it, including the age of the person who did it to him. The fact that he has turned my son missing into some dramatized bullshit for the internet.
Yeah, just so he can profit. And it's sad. It is truly sickening. Honestly. It's sickening if we profit off of this.
I don't need to be on television hanging flyers. I don't need to brag that I have done what I have done to help find my son.
Well, I understand how you guys feel about everything.
So you don't push the information to Detective Carter?
I haven't talked to Carter yet. Carter has not gotten back with me. So I had to.
Down here with me.
Okay, well that's good to know. But
There's a reason why they didn't answer.
yeah,
I know that.
but so yeah, but I.
Don't take this the wrong way, but why is a PI
Don't take this the wrong way. Did you hear that?
Of
going
course.
on doing internet sleuth interviews?
I know that.
But so yeah, but I.
Don't take this the wrong way, but why is a PI going on doing internet sleuth interviews?
You know, he contacted me before I was even hired to work the case.
It was just
But yeah,
no
but
offense, I'm just asking.
but no, I mean, I'm not a sleuth. I'm actually a PI.
I didn't call you a sleuth.
Yeah.
On
The
internet
sleuth podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, they asked me for my thoughts on the Sebastian Rogers case, and
So
who is
I'm
it?
aware of all of that, and Seth is not doing anything that he hasn't already done to me in the past.
Like, I'm not interested in the drama. I'm not interested in the rumors. I'm going to base who I think needs to be on the radar based on my interviews, my investigation, not what anybody else says.
So I have a question. You conduct your portion, do your thing,
Mm-hmm.
and we all know the Rogers family has hired you.
Okay.
It is very evident
Okay.
because we didn't hire.
They
Okay.
announced it publicly. It's not a secret. I know, but we already know.
There
that
is another
because-
PI too, by the way.
I know. There's
Okay.
at least like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh yeah, I will tell you this. You can tell all the PIs because I know you all talk.
Yeah, we do.
Because we're sick and tired of being stalked and people
Yeah.
coming on our properties. Because that's not just my property. It's
Yeah.
theirs.
Yeah.
We've
Okay.
worked
You know,
with
we're cool about that. Like,
probably 24 different, I'm the best one, I'm going to crack the case people already. And every last one of them that have talked to us, we have said, you are welcome to come and start from square one. You're not going to find anything that,
Well, I only
250 professionals didn't, but you're welcome to try, because at this point,
I haven't been here since day one when all this went down.
yeah.
And people don't understand. People can say, well, I understand how you feel when nobody knows how we feel.
Yeah.
Because unless you've lost a child and you've gone through this crap,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know. Like, I don't tell people, you don't know shit.
Okay.
You know?
Chris, you've investigated many missing persons cases before. How often do people, in your experience, act this way that truly want answers?
What was the last part, Josh?
How many people act that, like, if you're not implicated in what's happening, do people typically act this way?
Everything that I'm hearing here is all the walls are up, all the barriers are up. Okay. And what they're doing is they're projecting all this stress, anxiety in relationship to, well, my son is missing. Well, first of all, it's not his son. Sebastian is not his son, number one.
It's true.
Okay. So he's taken possession of Seth's emotional attachment to his biological son. That's not normal. Okay. He's a stepfather. And stepfathers typically, have a difficult time with stepchildren unless they've raised them from, a real, like babies almost, right? And this is where, moms say, well, let me handle it. Let me fix it, etc. Okay. And the proper position for a stepfather is to step back and say, you know what, you're right. I don't want to, pour gas on a fire. What I'm hearing here is he's an arsonist. He's an emotional arsonist. Okay. All he does is light fires and then stands back, watches them and enjoys the burn, and then say, why are you blaming me for the fire? And she is in a submissive role because she's probably afraid of him. And we have Dawn and Candace dynamics here without the prison terms. Dawn was in prison for so long, his whole life, quote, he grew up in the system. But the baggage train on, the meat grinder here is four other women and probably children that he was abusive to in relationship to emotional abuse and, stress put onto the family. Okay. And so his whole MO, again, he's an emotional arsonist. So he lights the fire and then he screams, you don't understand what it's like to watch the fire burn. And so my assessment of him from a criminal behavioral analysis assessment almost immediately is he has mommy issues. A lot of them. He internally for him, he's never been able to hit a standard that his mommy set for him. And so he takes it out on her, on the women around him. This guy has, a pathway of fires. And he turns around and looks back and says, why did you start all of those? You made me light the match. You see? I had a case one time where a guy ran his wife off the road. She was with her girlfriend. They got into a big old fight. And she leaves the house, goes to her girlfriend's house, and he follows her over there in a vehicle. And she jumps in this truck. She's got 3 kids. She puts all 3 kids in the back of the truck with a camper shell. It's her girlfriend's truck. Long story short, they're trying to get away from him, and he cuts her off. The husband pulls up alongside the car and cuts her off. The girlfriend is driving, and she overcorrects the vehicle, and it rolls. And all 3 of his kids are discharged out of the back of the truck. And one of them, it was horrendous. The trigger warning, the child landed in a barbed wire fence. Okay. Killed the girlfriend. Okay. All of this domestic stuff is going on. Okay. All right. we get him in the patrol, hooks him up. I get him in the interview room, and I'm sitting there, and he's giving me all this, my wife, and I'm in charge of my house and all this other stuff, right? And I let him run, kind of like the meat grinder here, and I just, we just rolled with it, take the punches. Okay. And I went back in, and all I did to set him from 0 to 60, I wanted to see who's behind the mask. I wanted to see the devil. And essentially I said something to the effect of, man, I could see why you want to control over your wife, or something to that effect. And I went down that road with him for a couple of minutes. Man, this guy went 0 to 60 in lickety split. I didn't think it was going to be that fast, but he just spun to the top of the house. And I just sat back there. Okay. And just let him run. But that's who his wife was seeing all the time. Okay. And domestic homicides are extremely sometimes difficult to solve. And domestic situations involving children, like, Seth, maybe, or Sebastian, being, 15 with autism and all this other stuff. Okay. It's this idea that says, okay, we're going to perpetuate this conversation, that we're going to stay down this road. We're going to stay down this road for as long as we can, because it seems to be working. Okay. But here's a question for the audience and for the folks that are listening. Where is he getting his medications? Where is Sebastian getting his prescriptions for his medications? If dad is involved, then for 2 years he's been buying him medication and providing it for his son that he's hiding out somewhere. Or if he was moved by other people, and let's say, the rumor of going up to Alaska and all this other stuff. Okay. Remember, this isn't my first rodeo. Okay. That's not very hard to figure out, because you can just, through DEA, you can find out his medication patterns. If his prescription pattern has stopped 2 years ago on the date he disappeared, then guess what? There's a high probability he's not with us. And so you reverse engineer that back, because I know he was on multiple medications.
Yeah, and I see people in the chat saying that it wasn't necessary, but I believe that the press release from the FBI was saying that he's on medication that he needs.
Yeah, he needs it to survive.
That's what the press release said, I thought.
When I talked to Seth about it a long time ago. And so if his medications had stopped in any way, shape, or form, okay, then That's a huge red flag. I would want to hear the parents answer that question. What was his scheduling? What were the medications, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Okay. And I'd like to hear, what those patterns are. Because I think if you had Seth come up here on this channel, he would tell you, oh, well, he was taking this, he was taking this, he was taking that, because he would have to give it to him when he would stay with him. Well, I want to hear that from the other people too, the Proudfoots. I want to hear his medication schedules. Okay. And if that's the case, then why isn't that a big deal? Because medications are a pattern of life. And when those things start to dissipate, that pattern of life starts to change. And this is one of the things I would ask parents with missing children. I would ask them right up front, is your child on any medication? If so, what are they? And the parents that just know, boom, boom, right there. Okay. That's giving you an idea of empathy. That's giving you an idea of, hey, what's the deal here? But what's been interesting throughout this whole thing is if he has a medicated schedule of some sort, you haven't heard it from the mother. Not that I've heard, maybe somebody else has heard, but I don't think she's ever gone on TV and say he needs his medications. Okay. That's a huge red flag, because that, again, it projects this. Remember you and I early on, Josh, were talking about, I said there would be an evolution with Dawn.
Yeah.
Okay. So if somebody says HIPAA and all this other stuff, well, okay, but your son's missing. Don't you want the world to know that if you do find him, he needs his meds?
Yeah, and really quick into the chat, I understand that the meds were not keeping him alive. Nobody's saying that.
We're not saying that.
Says,
but the meds were doing something.
yes, of course.
Yeah, which is fine. Okay. The point being the conversation about medication, whether or not it's doing something or whatever, it's like arguing over, the trespassing signs. I don't care.
I know.
The fact that he was on meds, that's doing something, whatever it is. And HIPAA, I don't care about that stuff. I care about the chemicals going into his body that were potentially helping him get through a day, a moment, a time. Okay. And I'd like to know that. Can you text Seth and see if he's available? Let's have him jump up. I mean, who cares about HIPAA at this point? 2 years later, it should have been done the first week.
Yeah, I can ask him. Let's see.
Yeah.
He was here. But I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while.
We've already asked Seth this question, so it's not going to be traumatic for him. Just FYI.
Let's see. Well, let's finish this while I see if I.
Well, I will tell you. I will tell you that I have only been hired on this case for 2 days.
I will forewarn you. So anything that you get, do you share back to the family?
Do I share what? share back to the family. Is that what you said?
Yeah, if you anything that you find or you get, share.
It's going to depend if it comes from law enforcement, which is what I told Weatherford. If it's something they share with me that they tell me, because I understand that there are some things that don't need to be in the public, and if it's
Answer our question. Are you going to give them information back? Yes or no? I mean, it's real simple.
depending on what it is. If it's something I can share with them, yes, I will share it with them.
I will say this: I wish you the best of luck. I hope you find some. I hope you get some. Truly. That's true.
That sort of seemed condescending to me.
Well, he's more worried about what the Rogers family gets than the well-being of Seth, or excuse me, of Sebastian.
Sebastian, yeah.
You know, that
I really do.
Right.
That's
I hope you can find. I don't give a shit what it is. Piece of evidence or something that move something in one direction.
Right.
I will tell you this. There is no chance Seth Rogers or the Roger family is going to reach out and contact us, and there's going to be reciprocating phone calls, because it ain't happening right.
There doesn't need to be phone calls between you guys.
The only way that's going to happen, he ain't going to do it. He ain't going to do it.
Yeah.
It's real simple. So, and I mean, unfortunately, he's made his bed, he's going to lie. You know? I mean, it is what it is.
I tried, 4 different times to get him to interview with me.
It seems like y'all were somewhat cordial in the beginning.
We were.
He have been very cordial. I got proof of shit that where he's running his mouth that he didn't talk to me and all this. I got phone records where I have had hour-long conversations.
When he said that Hayden spoke to him, that we refused to speak to him for 2 weeks, he was on the phone with him for long periods of time. Damn near every day at that point. Welcome to
They were welcome in the house. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And what was your name again?
This is what they told us about you too.
Well, everybody and I'm being honest, everybody on fucking Facebook, all this YouTube, all this TikTok, all this bullshit, they could take those fucking shows and stick them so far up their asses, and I hope they choke off.
Yeah.
Quiet on.
that's you.
Yeah, I'm joking right now. Hear that again.
All this TikTok, all this bullshit, they could take those fucking shows and stick them so far up their asses, and I hope they choke off.
Yeah.
Quiet on. There ain't a fucking one of them out there that have sit here and run us through the fucking dirt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire.
We were so unhinged that they found some lady that has the same name as me
I
and
mean,
murdered her child.
yeah.
I guess.
If there was somebody on fire and the only way to put them out was that way, and I didn't like them, I would probably still do it.
Yes, in the early 2000s, and they're trying to say that that's me.
That's the problem with sleuths that don't have access to actual databases, is that a lot of these Truth Finder and all those the public access ones, there's mixed information.
So let me ask you this: you're going after sex offenders, obviously.
Now this is interesting, Chris. Listen to this.
Right. That's my.
You have the access to scan the dark web for trafficking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
This is not a sex offender that has committed this crime. Okay? That is 43 years chasing sex offenders who have actually committed crimes. Unfortunately, this has not been a situation where Sebastian is sitting on the dark web somewhere because somebody snagged him out of the house when all the cameras were down, and mom works for a Brinks company that puts up surveillance systems.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And hers just happens to be down that night. And they're now selling him on the dark web somewhere. First of all, that's just ludicrous speed. Completely. Put the Darth Vader helmet on and press stop because you're going to hit the wall. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you take Summer and you take somebody else's history and you plug that history into that set of scenario, and then you plug in the shed at the bottom of the hill, we may be onto something somewhere. She could have been moved. Said that from the beginning. Okay. But in this situation, it's like apples and oranges, and all that is just, they're trying to guide they're trying to guide a narrative that
Yeah, I want you to look down this hole, and it almost seems like she's directing her to like a dead end,
a rabbit hole.
a rabbit hole. I mean, sex trafficking. I mean, do you know like how labor intensive? I mean, no offense to any PI, but the FBI has trouble tracking it down.
Well, you know how labor intensive it is, sex trafficking a 15-year-old autistic boy on medication.
Yeah, I mean it's almost unheard of. I would think. And by the way, how does he get out of the house, or how does anybody pick him up or show up at the house and no cameras caught anything? That doesn't make sense from the standpoint of whoever. He's obviously not in the house. He was in the house from what we were told. But the fact of the matter is he had to get out of the house somehow. And it seems as though whoever was able to get him out of the house was aware of the cameras or lack of cameras.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to let's look at the risk level of the offender. If this is a random situation, risk level of the offender. Okay. Is it a high risk to go to a house where somebody's blowing a gasket about trespassing signs?
Yeah.
Imagine trying to get into that house to get the target. And then once you're in the house, you have to evade all of the other target systems, i.e. mom, cameras, all this other stuff. You'd have to know that the cameras were down that night.
Correct.
Okay. And I mean, these are just common sense things. And then you're going to take the child somehow out of the house, maybe, Houdini or whatever. Okay. And you're going to try to get him out of the house so nobody sees him, including the mom, who the last time was out in the living room. Did she go to bed? Do we know? Was she in her bedroom or was she in the living room?
I think she was in the living room on the phone with Chris, her husband.
But that was she heard a thump at midnight, right?
10 o'clock, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock.
And she yells, "Go to bed," if I remember right.
Something like that, yes.
Okay. Didn't she hear another bang or something like that somewhere?
She said that she heard a thud.
Okay. She hears a thud. At what time was that? I forget.
Was it 9 or 10? It was 9 or 10 o'clock, I believe.
Okay. 9 or 10 o'clock, whatever it is. Okay. Either way, she yells.
Went to bed at midnight.
Yeah. Go to bed. She goes to bed at midnight. And then from midnight to what? 6 a.m?
Nothing. Yeah. And then she wakes him up. She goes to wake him up for school. He's gone.
Okay. So you got 6 hours.
No forced entry. Shoes are there. Everything that I guess would be dear to him is there.
So somehow a perpetrator makes it into the house to take him and put him on the dark web for trafficking.
Correct.
And leaves nothing behind, no evidence, no nothing. It's just, he's gone. He vanished. All right.
Gone and vanished. That's right.
Okay. How much is the bridge in Brooklyn? I forget.
I don't know, but it certainly is for sale.
Can get that done. Not me personally, but I know somebody. Yeah.
Do it,
Okay.
please. I mean, you're not more for me, but
Yeah, no, but is that how you feel? That's what you think is going on?
everybody keeps talking about trafficking and trafficking and trafficking.
Yeah.
And they just found 11 missing kids, and
Right.
everybody's going after.
This is straight up Don Wells talking point 2.0. I mean, he used to say this crap to me all the matter of fact. He went as far as to say, everybody's talking about this and that, and all these kids were found because of the Biden administration, and I mean, it was a whole thing. I mean, you heard a lot of that too, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
And then finally, when you go, Don, and then he would go, all right. I mean, remember when you'd call him on it, and you did that to him before. You let him to. This is one of the funniest things, and I hope I'm not revealing too much, but
No, you're fine.
even after all of our blow-ups, Chris had a conversation with Don, where Don was like, CPS is involved, the government, all this stuff. And Chris let him talk for like 20 minutes straight. And Chris finally just goes, Don, come on. And he goes, okay.
That's the point.
I remember I was just like, that's unbelievable that, and I mean, he went into detail. And finally, when you told him, come on, and he's like, all right. And you're just like, God.
I was actually just sitting down to pee, but whatever,
But it was like,
if you listen to this call, which I'm hearing for the very first time, it's like, that doesn't make sense. And
no, yeah, none of it does really.
No,
would investigators listen to this?
Oh, sure.
They would. Okay. So if somebody walked in with a tape like this and said, hey, maybe if you were lead detective on this case, you say, hey, I have something for you to listen to. I mean, this is something that they would take and go, wow.
Well, I'm not going to talk about it, but look at Sarah. She had 11 TikToks and then 300 and something.
Yeah.
After. So, yeah, absolutely. Let them run. Let them run. Love your avatar, by the way.
Thank you.
Come on. Is that a Superman? You should have put a corn dog in his hand.
Come on.
You still have time to correct it.
Give me one second.
You guys are doing a great job out there, by the way. Love all you rats and all of our subscribers. Hit that like button for Josh here. Send this thing around the world. Everybody, hopefully you're doing well. Hi, Laura. Lisa, Sadie, Paige, Brat, Misty. It's great to see you guys. Marlene.
Go lay down.
While we're waiting for Chicken Lips to get back.
I'm back. Otis is just being difficult. All right. So we got a little bit more of this here. Okay.
This whole sex offender bullshit. So if there's anything to it and someone took him and it's trafficking, where would they go?
Right.
Because if he were within 5 miles of this house, there's
Chicken lips. I have voluptuous lips.
See, even she didn't believe it. She even said it there 30 seconds ago.
I know. She called it BS.
Yeah.
Let's hear that again.
no chance that he wouldn't have been found. Just found 11 missing kids, and everybody's going after this whole sex offender bullshit. So if there's anything to it and someone took him and it's trafficking, where would they go?
Right.
Because if he were within 5 miles of this house, there's no chance that he wouldn't have been found. None.
Which, by the way, not true. Absolutely not true. If he was within 5 miles of that house, there's no way that he wouldn't have been found. Kaylee Anthony was 0.8 miles on the side of the road in the ditch, and they had huge turnout.
Yeah, but you know what she just said without saying it?
What?
You need to look out further than 5 miles.
I know. You need to look out further than 5 miles, and you need to check out the trafficking BS.
Because I know every single.
Not the trafficking.
So if there's a.
It's a subtlety. It's called leakage. I mean, you see, you think, and she did this early on in the interview with the news too. Okay. Go back and play that again.
Anything to it, and someone took him, and
Yeah, no, but that's, I mean, is that how you feel? That's what you think is going on?
everybody keeps talking about trafficking and trafficking and trafficking, and they just found
And
11
stop.
missing kids.
See, what she's doing is transferring the conversation to other people. Okay. The reason that's happening is because internally she knows that's not the answer. Because she's saying everybody keeps talking about trafficking and trafficking and trafficking. And what's happening subconsciously is she's going, well, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. Okay. And then she qualifies it. Go ahead.
And
Right.
everybody's going after this whole sex offender bullshit. So if there's anything to it,
See, she knows that's not true. So she's leaking subconsciously something going on internally. So in an interview, you would say to somebody like that, you know, it's interesting you brought that up. Help me understand what you mean. Okay. And let her elaborate even further. Okay. To the point where you can say, well, what's your theory? So let's listen to what happens.
and someone took him, and it's trafficking,
Mm-hmm.
where would they go?
Right.
Because if he were within 5 miles of this house, there's no chance that he wouldn't have been found. None. Because I know
Stop.
every single.
You see how she positioned that?
Yeah. Yeah, it was almost kind of like, here, you go chase down this BS that I don't even believe. Here you go.
Well, she said, see, if he were within 5 miles of this house. Okay. Okay. So you'd want to stop her and ask, do you know how far away he is? Why did you choose 5 miles as a reference point? Keep going.
Group, agency, technology,
Go back.
Yeah.
everything that was brought in. There's no chance he was within 5. He were within 5 miles of
going on.
Everybody keeps talking about trafficking and trafficking and trafficking, and
Yeah.
they just found 11 missing kids, and
Right.
everybody's going after this whole sex offender bullshit. So if there's anything to it, and someone took him, and it's traffic.
By the way, don't look within 5 miles because he would have been found already.
Well, she knows it's not true.
That's a ridiculous thing to say. Why would you say that?
She's telling the world right there. In her heart of hearts, mind to mind, she's telling the world that trafficking is BS. She says it.
Yeah.
Play it again. Listen carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Where would they?
Yeah. I can get that done. Going on.
I mean, I don't. You're not more for me, but
Yeah, no, but that's, I mean, is that how you feel? That's what you think is going on?
everybody keeps talking about trafficking and trafficking and trafficking,
Yeah.
and they just found 11 missing kids, and
Right.
everybody's going after this whole sex offender bullshit. So if there's anything to it, and someone took him, and it's trafficking,
Mm-hmm.
where would they
Stop.
go?
Right.
If someone took him and it's trafficking, if someone took him and it's trafficking, play that again. Listen very carefully.
Because if and someone took him, and it's trafficking after this game, and
Yeah. Is going on.
everybody keeps talking about trafficking and trafficking and trafficking.
Yeah.
And they just found 11 missing kids, and
Right.
everybody's going after this whole sex offender bullshit. So if there's anything to it and someone took him and it's trafficking, where would they go?
Right.
If there's
Because if-
anything to it and it's trafficking, okay, what she's doing is she's projecting that she doesn't even believe it.
And this is a good point here. And Kelsey, thank you for donating 5 lab memberships. This is why you don't let her talk, right?
Exactly.
Yes, that's a good point.
This is great. I mean,
Yeah.
this is good stuff.
he were within 5 miles of this house, there's no chance that he wouldn't have been found. None. Because I know every single group, agency, technology,
Yeah.
everything that was brought in, there's no chance he was within 5 miles of this house.
Okay, stop.
Okay.
It was done over.
So what she's doing is qualifying that she's aware of the technology that would be utilized, okay, the type of people that would come in to investigate it, okay, because she says, I'm aware of these things, okay, and so what she's doing is she's projecting that she has an edge to this investigation because she would have known. She says it. Go back again.
He was within 5 miles. None. Because I know every single group, where would they go?
Right.
Because if he were within 5 miles of this house, there's no chance that he wouldn't have been found. None. Because I know every single.
Stop. Okay. Now, why is this important? If this was a pre-planned event, those were the considerations that was taken into account about the planning. Who would potentially be involved? What technology would be utilized? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So she's positioning herself, at least in this conversation, as being aware of what would happen if an investigation kicked off. And so you have to ask yourself, sitting back as a, just a lay person and or, somebody listening going, well, okay, is he within 5 miles? Well, according to Mom, she already knew that if they hadn't found him within 5 miles, okay, with all the technology and the people involved, FBI, TBI, and all the other folks, that they would have found him by now. So what she did is she kind of leaked out that there could be something else going on here, that he's further out. Are you tracking me here?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like she's directing traffic, and saying things that she can't, she couldn't possibly know. Unless she does, meaning with direct knowledge of where he is. And, she can't know that if she has nothing to do with his disappearance. If she knows nothing, if he got up and walked out the door, like she says, and at this point, she was like, she at this point, she just claims, we don't know if he walked away or somebody took him. But what I'm saying is there's nothing. She's saying things that she can't possibly know to be true without inside information.
That's what it would seem. Something somewhere.
You don't just make those accusations to somebody who's going to be looking for your child. If you want to just track down this, trafficking bullshit.
She's reflecting on her conscience. She's reflecting on something internally that she's remembering. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Play it back a little bit more,
group
and we'll let it run a little bit more. I'm sorry.
as if he
Oh, you're fine.
Right.
What we're here.
trafficking.
That's what you think is.
You're not more for me, but
Yeah, no, but that's, I mean, is that how you feel? That's what you think is going on?
everybody keeps talking about trafficking and trafficking and trafficking.
Yeah.
And they just found 11 missing kids, and
Right.
everybody's going after this whole sex offender bullshit. So if there's anything to it and someone took him and it's
Okay. So Heather asked her a personal question. Is that how you feel? She's asking for an emotional response. And what response did she get?
traffic's going after this whole sex offender bullshit. Just found 11. Everybody keeps talking about trafficking and trafficking and trafficking.
That's her response.
And they just found 11 missing kids.
She didn't
Talking
personalize.
about trafficking.
No, she said, well, look, they just found 11 kids.
Okay. But she categorized it as everybody. And now go back just for a second, one more time. Sorry. This is important.
Please.
Sorry.
I mean, you're not more for me, but
Yeah, no, but that's, I mean, is that how you feel? That's what you think is going on?
everybody keeps talking about trafficking and trafficking and trafficking.
You see, she asked her a personal response about, is that how you feel? Is that what you think is going on? And she responds with, everybody, meaning not her, outside of herself. She responds by deflecting outside of herself that everybody else is saying all of these other things. Okay. That takes some skill. That is somebody that has lied all her life. And because she is asked about her feelings about what's taking place here about her son. And she reflects to what other people are saying, not what she is feeling. Okay. That's a problem. It's subtle, but when you start putting Legos together, you get a house.
You're the one that's talked to tens of thousands of people about stuff like this.
Well, this is Candace. And I walked her back to the house and I turned around. She was gone.
Gone. Yeah.
And down at the water hole, it was Candace. What's wrong? I feel like God is punishing me. Why? Man, we were that close.
And I'm telling you, that was one of the truest statements I've ever heard Candace say, and one of the most pure moments that and I've seen, I don't know, just too many clips and audio clips. That was the only time I ever heard her broken down, and like you said, like, I feel like God's punishing me is a statement that has always stuck in my mind and will always.
The thing about these kind of cases is they don't go away internally for people. They just keep building. They build. So you have to be patient. And I think that was just demonstrated in Idaho. You've got to be patient and let it build. Okay? Because eventually the dam will start to have leaks, emotional leaks, where that's what we call leakage. Okay? And in this situation, 50 days into this, I'm hearing these leaks already starting 50 days into this. You see, I'm not listening to what she's saying. I'm listening how she's saying it. Okay. And keep going. I'm sorry.
They just found 11 missing kids, and
Right.
everybody's going after this whole sex offender bullshit. So if there's anything to it and someone took him and it's trafficking, where would they go?
Right.
Because if he were within 5 miles of this house, there's no chance that he wouldn't have been found. None. Because I know every single group, agency, technology,
Yeah.
everything that was brought in, there's no chance he was within 5 miles of this house.
Okay.
It was done over.
She knows.
Well, look, man, she either knows or she has no idea what the hell she's talking about.
She just said there's no chance he's within 5 miles of this house.
Look, she's very confident in her statement. I agree.
She qualifies it with, I know all the agencies, I know all the technologies, etc. I know that it's a bunch of BS for sex offenders. She just lays it all out there right in front of us. Play that one more time and listen very carefully, everybody.
Wow.
It's trafficking. Web for trafficking?
Yeah. I can get that done. Not me personally, but I know somebody. Yeah.
Do it,
Okay.
please. I mean, I don't, you're not more for me, but
Yeah. No, but is that how you feel? That's what you think is going on?
everybody keeps talking about trafficking and trafficking and trafficking.
Yeah.
And they just found 11 missing kids, and
Right.
everybody's going after this whole sex offender bullshit. So if there's anything to it and someone took him and it's trafficking, where would they go?
Right.
Because if he were within 5 miles of this house, there's no chance that he wouldn't have been found. None. Because I know every single group, agency, technology,
Yeah.
everything that was brought in, there's no chance he was within 5 miles of this house.
See?
Okay.
It was done over and over and
No chance.
There's no chance he was within 5 miles of this house. She knows that. She's qualified it. Her son, okay. Her son disappears. She knows that there's no way he's within 5 miles. So if I was a case agent, I'd take a note. I wouldn't ask it right now, but I'd be writing down, why is that? I want to explore this a little bit more down the road. Okay. I want indicators that tell me why she would make comments like that. Go ahead.
over, and they used heat sinking, they used
Yeah.
FLIR, they used
Yeah.
vision, they used night. I mean, they did. They did. If you can name it, they did it, and they did it in multiple ways. I don't think he's that close to home, unless he's in a basement.
Oh, listen to this.
Ways. I don't think he's that close to home, unless he's in a basement. I was begging them to search farther.
Stop. Unless he's in the basement.
I think
Or
it's
a
In a basement. Did it in multiple ways. I don't think he's that close to home, unless he's in a basement.
in a basement,
I was begging them to search farther.
which is still. I was begging them to search farther.
Okay.
This area has been
Even Heather, the PI, is like, what is going on here?
canvassed. They did. They did. If you can name it, they did it, and they did it in multiple ways. I don't think he's that close to home, unless he's in a basement. I was begging them to search farther.
Okay.
This area has been canvassed.
Okay.
It's 50 days in. 50 days in.
I'm a mom too, baby. I get it. I do. I have a 15-year-old son as well. And you're doing a good job of keeping yourself together, which some people interpret badly.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Every one of them spineless cowards.
And we're back.
and action.
They got the
Rolling the
fucking
meat,
ball.
rolling the meat grinder. But let's stop for a second.
Right.
So they are worried about something around that house. Because they're qualifying that the neighborhood's been canvassed, all these other things have been done. And then she says, something about the basement, unless he's in a basement. Okay. And some homes in Tennessee, that area, have basements, obviously, because of tornadoes. But they are worried, and this is why they go 0 to 60 about the trespassing signs. There's something in that environment that they do not want found. Something. I have no idea what that is. But
it's funny that you say that, because bringing it full circle, I remember, like you were saying, there's something there, but I have no idea what it is. And I remember when I was watching Mark Tinsley the other day, when he was subpoenaing Alex Murdaugh for his records, he said that I just knew that he didn't want me to have them at the time, and I didn't know why. And he said, but I do now. And that's sort of what's happening here. It's like, not really sure why she's saying that or what it is, but there's obviously something here.
Well, if 50 days in, 50 days into the investigation, there's no way they wanted everybody poking around the house even further.
Come over, Paul.
Together, which some people interpret
He had been behaving very well, and then all of a sudden,
badly.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Every one of them spineless cowards ain't got the fucking balls to come over, Paul. Ain't got nothing. All they got is a keyboard to put out there.
Oh yeah.
Somebody needs to order him a Happy Meal.
he's so mad.
Take him to McDonald's. Get him a Happy Meal and a toy. Okay. And take him to Burger King and put the king crown on him. Get him a box of corn dogs. Do something positive in his life.
Corn dogs aren't going to help him.
Bullshit stories.
I wasn't trying to be hateful. It's just,
Did she say
so
stop?
many people.
I think so.
His wife
Putting
said
yourself
stop.
together, which some people interpret badly.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Every one of them spineless cowards ain't got the fucking balls to come over, Paul. Ain't got nothing. All they got is a keyboard to put out there.
Oh yeah.
Bullshit stories.
I wasn't trying to be hateful. It's just, there's so many people.
So do you plan on releasing any of the footage and pictures that you took of the house?
No. That's for me. That's for my file.
There's not an inch of my house inside or out that hasn't been publicly posted. So you can find it. It's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, the pictures, regardless, you can find the pictures of every angle.
Yeah.
On Silk.
I'm sure.
Well, I will say this much. Before you make that trip to Memphis, I need to make sure, one, I'll be able to have the time to actually sit down and talk, because we have concrete floors, the chick low, and those hours are longer than normal. So I don't want to sit up there and waste your time and your energy or your gas and stuff coming down here if I can't actually be to sit down.
Man, he's quite the empathetic person.
Hey, let me get.
You want to waste your time, gas, or whatever.
Doesn't he drive, or isn't he a crane lift?
I think so.
Something like that.
He was. I don't know what he is now, but he was.
Why the concrete floors breaking at 1 a.m? I know they pour at 1 a.m. sometimes because of the temperatures and stuff, and on commercial projects. But why the crane operator? Why would he be there at 1 a.m. for concrete pouring?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Your guys' phone numbers and
Sit up there and those hours are longer talk because we have concrete floors to chip below. Sit down to talk because we have concrete floors to chip below.
What's he
And those
saying?
hours are long.
I don't know.
To talk
Very
because we have concrete
right here.
floors to chip below.
They just
And
broke.
those hours
It seems like they took that part. It seems like they took that part out.
are longer than talk because we have concrete floors to chip below. And those hours are longer than normal.
Yeah,
So
that doesn't make sense.
I don't want to sit up there and waste your time and your energy or your gas and stuff coming down here if I can't actually be to sit down.
Hey, let me get your guys' phone numbers, and can I just call you when I'm in Jackson tomorrow?
Send me a text.
Okay, what's your number?
Why would he be worried about her gas and her time when?
Like he's making an out to where he doesn't have to meet with her.
Yeah, of course.
He's very non-committal to this.
Number.
Which, by the way, I mean, look, they can do whatever they want, but if somebody was willing to drive that far to see me to help me find my stepson or my wife's son, I would definitely make the time to meet with them. I mean, I would.
Okay. And Katie, what's your number?
Yeah, I mean,
Just send me a
is he
text right
driving
now
a
with your
concrete pumper? Is that what he does?
Say that again.
Does he drive a concrete pumper? Because those are big trucks with,
Yeah, the spin.
Huh?
The spinning truck.
No, the pumper.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
They're stationary, and they put jacks down, and they have a big pump on it with a hose at the end that 4 or 5 guys control it, and then the trucks back up into a pore section of it, and then it pumps it up in through the hose and into the slab.
No,
But
no,
if he's up in a crane, he's not going to be involved in any of that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know why. Let me see. Is there anything?
So I know. If not, I'll be like.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I will.
Yeah.
Ironically, they don't bark much. I just gave them a bone. I give them each a bone, and then one of them puts it down and barks at the other for the bone that the other one has.
All right. You both have my phone number now.
Okay, so that's it for that. Yeah, I mean, we went through it pretty meticulously, but any thoughts about where we stand? I mean, look, especially there at the end when Katie was sort of giving her, trafficking, and then she was like, well, it can't really be trafficking or whatever it is that she's talking about. But I found this interesting. I found it odd. Found a lot of things. What say you, Chris?
Don't leave the house. Not yet. And we want to find out about that medication schedule.
Yeah, we can
to find out if he's
back from him. He may be sleeping, working. I don't know where he is, but
whatever he's taking. No, we don't need to know what he's taking. We just need to know, is it daily? Was it daily? And if so, at what times? In the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon? Or are there multiple? Because that's critical, because you can chase that stuff down easily.
Yeah, right. No, you're right about.
And if he is alive somewhere, hypothetically, then he's got to get his meds. And so there would have to be, an AKA or something to that effect. Somebody would have to have the ability to conceal the fact that he's, Sebastian. And usually that's a problem.
People keep asking, they said, did you guys discuss the recent search warrant? Well, I don't know. I don't know enough about the search warrant. If I haven't been able to.
Where did they serve it?
I don't know. Let me see. discuss. So apparently that Chris had told somebody that they served a search warrant within the first year at the house.
Okay, but he's been missing what, 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
Okay.
April 2nd, they said when the search warrant was, but I don't think that other than that, I don't think that there's anything. But that would, look, search warrants, if they're lawyered up, a year later coming back in with a search warrant does kind of look a little odd.
Well, or they could have developed more information.
Of course, yeah.
And, what did they take up the floors? Did they pull the carpet up? Do they have a basement?
I don't think so.
I'm seeing things in here that says his family's in the construction business.
His family is, yeah. I don't know if they have a basement or not, though.
That's a problem.
Yeah. So does anybody know if this house has a basement?
Well, they were in the backyard. They took cameras. They took up some carpet. Okay.
The garage floor.
Girl mom.
Hmm.
They took electronics. Wow, good.
There you go.
That's good stuff. Only a crawl space. Okay. No basement. Interesting.
It is.
They build mansions, huh? Okay. So they're in the his family or her family?
His family.
Oh, so they're in the construction business.
Property development type stuff. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, why is he a crane operator then?
Probably because they don't want him to work for them. He'd be an HR nightmare.
Imagine that. You mean the meat grinder?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Chris,
I'm going to let you run.
I appreciate it.
I can see you got a bunch of stuff up there that are starred. All right. As always, thank you.
I appreciate it. We'll keep on. We'll keep talking about it.
Yes, definitely. Rock on. We'll keep moving. And Rats, it's great seeing everybody and some of our subs. Thank you guys so much for being here. We got another good one coming up on Sunday, so put your seatbelts on.
All right, Sunday, make sure to hit that like button and then click the notification bell for the interview room as well, and we'll put your link in the chat. Thank you so much, Chris.
Okay, have a good night, Josh. Thank you.
Take care. All right, guys, there was I really appreciate it. And let me see here. Let me just say some thank yous. Sirius Black becoming a member. Deanna, Sharon, thank you for that. And Marlena, John, happy early birthday, Josh. I would have sent you some Just for Men. I don't need it yet, but thank you. And Nina Drew, thank you. With them being at the TBI, okay, so we answered that question. Thank you for can you imagine living? No, I could not imagine it at all, ever. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. These dogs, I'm telling you, these dogs are they're just, Josh, you can do After Dark, just do 399.1. Yeah, we're coming up on the 400th episode of the After Dark. So if you want to sub to that, please do. And let's see. On Zillow, there's a door that allegedly leads to an attic. So like a crawl space. I got you. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys next time.
I was actually just sitting down to pee, but whatever,
you.